But Mr. Khan, if you're worried about racism, if you're worried about discrimination, what about what's being said to Jews in London, the city that you're the mayor of?
Nigel Farage leaves Sadiq Khan stunned during live debate. You're not going to believe what just happened on live television. In a debate that was supposed to be polite, predictable, and, frankly, forgettable, Nigel Farage managed to stop Sadiq Khan in his tracks, with just one sentence. No shouting, no insults, just a sharp line that cut straight to the heart of the issue. The moment it happened, you could feel the tension shift in the room. Cameras froze. Commentators leaned forward. And within minutes, the clip was already trending online. But what exactly did he say, and why has it hit such a nerve across the UK and beyond? Let's break this down. It was during a televised panel on the future of London's identity, a conversation about immigration, culture, and the city's economic direction. Farage, known for his outspoken takes and his knack for stirring national conversations, had been sitting across from London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, who, as usual, was composed, calm, and ready to defend his record. For the first 20 minutes, it was the usual political back and forth. Khan defending his housing policies and diversity programs, Farage arguing that London had lost its sense of Britishness, whatever that might mean in a city that thrives on global identity. And then, mid-discussion, came the line. Farage leaned forward, paused, and said something that made Khan blink, hesitate. Just for a moment. You talk about unity, Sadiq, Farage said, but unity isn't when people are silent, it's when people feel heard. And right now, millions in this city don't feel heard at all. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it hit hard. Even critics of Farage had to admit it was a well-timed punch. Let's be honest, Britain's political mood is tense. After years of economic challenges, culture wars, and post-Brexit division, London has become a symbol of something bigger, a city wrestling with identity, belonging, and leadership. Sadiq Khan, the capital's longest-serving mayor, has built his brand on inclusion, pushing forward programs that celebrate multiculturalism and protect minority communities. Farage, on the other hand, has built his career on challenging that very narrative, calling for tighter borders, stronger national identity, and what he describes as common-sense politics. So when he delivered that line about people not feeling heard, it wasn't just aimed at Khan. It was aimed at millions of Londoners who feel disconnected from both Westminster and City Hall. In political terms, it was strategic empathy, the kind of line that sounds compassionate, but also drives division. And that's exactly why it exploded online. Within hours, clips of the exchange flooded TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube Shorts. One viral tweet read, "Farage didn't attack, he exposed the silence. That's why Khan had no comeback." Another countered, "This is classic Farage emotional manipulation dressed as concern." Khan was right not to take the bait. Political commentators jumped in almost immediately. BBC analysts called it a masterclass in populist rhetoric. Meanwhile, The Guardian ran an opinion piece headlined, "Farage's moment of empathy or political theater?" And the public reaction? Split, as always. Some praised Farage for speaking for ordinary Londoners. Others accused him of turning complex issues into viral sound bites. But either way, everyone was talking about it. Here's what makes this moment more than just a viral clip. It shows how modern politics is shifting away from policy-heavy debate and toward performance politics. In the age of short attention spans and social algorithms, a single sentence can now define an entire political exchange. Farage understood that. Khan, for all his composure, didn't see it coming. This wasn't about facts or figures. It was about feeling. And in that instant, Farage owned the emotional tone of the debate. Political insiders have noticed the ripple effect too. One senior Labour advisor, speaking off-record to a UK outlet, said, "Farage knows how to make a moment feel authentic even when it's rehearsed. Khan has to learn how to fight on that terrain." Even within conservative circles, though, there was debate. Some felt the comment was brilliant, others warned it could backfire, drawing attention to Farage's own divisive history. As one former Tory MP put it, "It's a smart line, but risky. When you paint yourself as the voice of the unheard, you invite people to ask who made them unheard in the first place." And here's the interesting part, the story didn't just stay in the UK. Media outlets across Europe and even in South Africa picked it up, drawing parallels between London's divisions and their own domestic tensions. In Johannesburg and Cape Town, political analysts compared Farage's voice of the people, framing to similar tactics used by populist leaders back home, figures who rise by channeling public frustration into political power. As one South African columnist wrote, "Every country has its Nigel Farage, someone who can read the mood of the room better than the people in charge." It's a fascinating observation, and it might explain why this moment hit so deep internationally. It wasn't just about Farage or Khan. It was about leadership, communication, and the widening gap between politicians and the people they claim to represent. The debate clip will fade, like they all do. But the idea behind that line, "People don't feel heard," won't. It's already become a talking point in upcoming mayoral discussions, political podcasts, and even grassroots forums. Khan's team, sources say, is preparing a new communications push focusing on listening to Londoners, while Farage supporters are framing the moment as proof that he can take on the establishment in real time. In other words, that one sentence has set the tone for the next phase of British political storytelling. When history looks back on moments like this, it might not remember the policies, it'll remember the phrases that shaped perception. Nigel Farage's sentence wasn't just clever, it was crafted for the social media age. And Sadiq Khan's silence, however brief, became the image that told the story. So the question isn't just who won the debate. It's who understood the stage. Because in politics today, perception is power. And the next time these two share a stage, you can bet one thing: neither will underestimate the impact of a single, perfectly timed sentence.